Hey guys, welcome back to Mod and Pop Thrift. Welcome back to the storeroom. My name's Tom. I'm a full-time eBay reseller and I'm a stay-at-home dad for my 6 children. And it has probably been a month and a half. It was probably right before Christmas the last time that I recorded from here. And now...
Well, it's Groundhog Day. Again?
Oh, welcome back to the store. Lots and lots and lots of things going on. But man, it's still a fresh year. This weekend was the best weekend of the year by a long shot. If you guys want to see, like, I could do like a recap and just show screenshots but not hold the stuff up, things that sold in January. We can do that. Not a great January, but those of you guys who pay a lot of attention to the channel know I've had a lot of personal things going on, and just January has kind of sucked for sales for everybody, which is weird because if you look at my numbers, January, February, and March were kind of my best months last year, but then kind of everything tanked. You want for Q4 to be your best, but Q4 this year was not great. So hopefully moving forward, I think that in general sales will be on a downward trend, but I have a lot of room to scale my store up. So if I'm seeing that my sales, like I'm not selling as much of a percentage, I'm not being able to get as much margin, my store is only at like 1,200 items right now. I could probably manage a store that's in excess of 2,000 items, and I have done that and been really successful. So that, I think, is my goal for this year, is to get my store big enough that it's going to generate more sales even in a lagging economy. So that's where we're at right now, but this weekend was just bananas. Let me take a look at some numbers. So we have 20 items to ship out, and one of them is 2 items. One guy bought 2 of those rings that I've been selling. And then one guy bought 2 things, but they're their own order. So anyway, 20 orders to ship out for $1,018.11, and it's only 4:30 on Sunday, so hopefully we'll get some more and you guys can see those later. But that's a total of like almost $51 ASP, and those jackets that if you watch the last haul video, really contribute to that. But a lot of big things sold this weekend. So let's just jump into it and talk about what's sold. The first thing that is on my list is these 2 rings. I haven't pulled them yet. I'll go get them. Size 12 camouflage rings. I bought these at Walmart clearance for $2 each, and then they hung out in my death pile forever. And I was like, oh, I need to just get these listed at whatever price. I decided to list them at $6 plus shipping a piece, and they've really been clicking off pretty well. It's not making a ton of money, but they probably weren't the best buy in the world. So this guy bought 2 of them, $12, and he asked me to refund the shipping, to combine shipping. And I said, okay, anything that's over $5, I will refund, and it ended up being $6.35. So I gave him $2 back just to be a nice guy. Something else that's not pulled, you guys saw me pick up this Oster food processor cup. It's just a replacement cup, but I have sold the machine a couple of times, and I've sold this just replacement food cup a couple of times, and the food cup by itself sells for just as much as the whole thing. So I picked it up for $5, and it sold for $24 plus shipping, buyers all in at $35. And then the only other thing I don't have pulled, I picked up for $7, which is way too much, but I don't see it very much. So I wanted to get it and hope that it was good. And in the video, I was like, I'm going to go with my gut, even though the comps say not to. And the Robert Graham goes back on the rack. Even with that embroidery, like going against my better judgment and against the comps for that Robert Graham, I think that's the higher end one, and I'm not able to find it right now. Let's look at it. So this Robert Graham used to be a Bolo brand, used to be really big money. Still, I mean, if you can find it at a garage sale for $1 or $2, but $7 at Goodwill was too much money because it took it like 6 months to sell, and it sold for $22 free shipping. This is just barely marked. You can even see it better on here than I can in person. Fiesta HL Halmer Lofgren Company HLC on the bottom of there. The ring handle cup. I paid 50 cents a piece for a bunch of these at a garage sale, and like they sell every once in a while, one will sell. This one sold for $16 free shipping. Nothing fantastic, but for 50 cents, and it's going to be a little bit expensive to ship, but I'll still make like $6 or $7. I paid 50 cents a piece for a bunch of these Shonen Jump manga magazines. They're comic books, but they're Japanese and they're actually written backwards. So this is the beginning, I think, and this is the end. Anyway, Ice Shield 21, I bought like 10 of them for 50 cents a piece, and they all sold for like 20 bucks. And then for whatever reason, this one is the least desirable, number 8, and I ended and sold similar. It was listed for like 16. I did end and sell similar and listed it for $12.99 free shipping, and it sold within a day. So it probably just wasn't getting as many eyeballs on it. This, if you watched my last video, we picked up Kuyu brand stuff, and this jacket, Kuyu, it's like just a Patagonia kind of high-end hunting gear. It's got this goat on it, but more prominently than that, it says Kuyu. And I paid $30 a piece for 2 jackets, and this one sold for $129.90, which was an offer that I sent out after I listed it for $169, which was kind of high, knowing that I listed it kind of high, knowing that the first time I had a couple of watchers, I was going to send an offer. And then that same buyer who bought that went ahead and bought these Kuyu pants. Oh, they got a little bit of schmutz on it. It's not as evident on the camera or in person. Kuyu brand, like hiking, or not hiking, like ski pants, kind of. They're hunting gear is what they're called. And they paid, I think they paid $110 for these pants, and I paid $12.50. Yeah, $110 for the pants. And those are going to the same buyer. Those are both free shipping, but boy, at $45 into $240, I can afford to eat the shipping a little bit on that. It ain't gonna hurt my feelings a bit. We were at the Not Good Goodwill the other month, and I picked up this plushie of Frankenstein. You can see pretty sizable, and then you turn it over and it's a purse. It's got a big zipper on the back and straps, and it's by some doll company. Well, Dolls Kill collaboration with Universal Monsters Frankenstein Jumbo Plush Backpack Rare Plush. And I had it listed for $59.99 for 2 months. And then I put it on sale for $49.99 for a month. And then the sale ended. And the day the sale ended, it jumped back up to $59.99. And it sold at full asking price, $59.99. And we paid like $7 for it. And it took like 3 months to sell. And then the other Kuyu, now this one I screwed up on. It is, if you touch it, it feels almost hollow. It is goose down, and you should familiarize yourself with what goose down feels like as opposed to a nylon puffer jacket, because the first thing I did was touched it. I was like, oh, that's down. And then I was like, let me open this up when it's hanging on the just came out rack, and I see Super Down LT, goose down, minimum 90% down. And I'm like, okay, so this is probably good. How much are they asking for it? $30. Holy cow, $30 is a lot for a jacket from a company I've never heard of. And then I'm like, well, let me run the comps. They didn't mark it $30. $30 is when they've got a nice Patagonia jacket or something that they know what they've got. And so I'm like, I need to investigate this a little further. So I started comping, and that jacket, it was a little hard because there's not a ton listed to find that exact jacket. And that At any rate, I started comping things, and I was like, well, there's nothing listed under $100 by this company at all. So I'm going to take these pieces, even at what feels like a kind of inflated price, and we're going to see how we do on them. Well, that jacket, if you look at the listing, it says Super Down Pro, and then the jacket itself says Super Down LT. And so the guy messaged me and he's like, hey, your title said Pro. So I went ahead and bought it. And then I looked at the tag, and the tag actually says LT. And I said, oh, you're right. I'm sorry about my mistake. We can cancel that order if you want to. And he's like, well, I would still take the jacket, but could I get $40 off because this is a lower quality jacket? And I ran the comps, and for that, I was like, well, and I would list it at $40 less had I realized the mistake that I made. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to save the sale. I hate to give money back immediately. I would rather just post it again with the right information most of the time. But sales have been so hit and miss and sloppy recently that I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and say, I was wrong, my bad. Let me work with this customer and save this sale. I mean, not that I wouldn't have gotten another sale. I just felt like he wasn't lying and a bird in the hand, as they say. I do not often buy this kind of thing. This is coveralls, like mechanics coveralls, old school ones, and they are by Oshkosh B'gosh. Oshkosh Sanforized Union Made. So that makes them pretty old. They're in really nice shape. 38 regular is a pretty darn good size. This is probably equivalent to a men's large. And these were like $5.50, maybe $8 at the Helping Hands thrift store the other day. And I knew they wouldn't be like over the moon money. And I listed them for $30 plus shipping. Buyers all in at $39, and they sold within a couple of days. So that's pretty cool. More pants. These are Browning. I think of Browning as being like shotguns. I don't think of Browning as being hunting clothes, but that's what these are. These are like almost like brush popper because they've got the extra. They're not like double knees because they're double all the way down and even in the back. So, but anyway, they are, these are nice quality pants. They were with the regular pants at Helping Hands the other day. Same time I got this. So these were $2.50, I think, and they sold for $19 free shipping. Again, not gigantic money, but when I'm only paying $2.50 and they sell in a day and a half, it's hard to not take that money. Liquid Blue is a good name brand. XL. This is a weird Halloween kind of theme. I bought this for $1 with a ton of other vintage shirts that were super valuable. All kinds of old Beatles, old Jimi Hendrix, old other Liquid Blue stuff that's selling for a couple of them sold over $100. This one is modern, not as desirable a print. Sold for $15 plus shipping and took, I think that was September when we made that buy. I bought 50 shirts from a guy for $1 a piece at his garage sale. I was the first one to show up, and I just basically cleaned him out on t-shirts. This I got as part of a big lot on High Bid. This sold for $15 free shipping. It's like an American flag and flames themed 67 Shelby GT 500. Somebody's going to want that because it's just a really cool American Thunder kind of car. I wouldn't have picked it up for much, but it was part of a high bid auction. If it was laying on a table for $1 at a garage sale, I don't think I would have bought it. But it was part of a big lot of things, and so it's definitely worth listing once I owned it. Kingdom Hearts. So if you're looking at the Kingdom Hearts logo, and it has these two lines in it, that's Kingdom Hearts 2, not just Kingdom Hearts with a fancy thing in the middle of the heart. And you want to make sure that you're listing Kingdom. It's not as obvious as if it had a 2 or if those two lines were on the other side. I feel like it's kind of hidden. So I always look for that because I used to get confused about it. But how freaking cute is this shirt? Kingdom Hearts. See, the regular Kingdom Hearts logo here it's hard to even see that it has the black lines right there. So Kingdom Hearts 2, but this Mickey and Donald and Goofy and the kids from the Kingdom Hearts. Cool shirt. Not a lot of Kingdom Hearts stuff sells, but I comped this one in the store and it did really well. And it sold for $22.99 in a week. And I paid I think I paid $5 or $6 for it. I'm not going to go grab this thing. It is a bench vise, a rapid vise. So like you slide it up to what you want to clamp and then you crank it over rather than the kind of vise where you got to really corkscrew it all the way back in. I found this on Facebook Marketplace for $20. And it, and then it was missing a part, or it would have been worth like $200. And then I had it listed for $200 anyway, thinking I was going to get a best offer, free shipping. And this thing weighs like probably 25 pounds and is almost 20 inches long. And I ended up taking an offer for $125, free shipping to Los Angeles. So it's going to cost me like something like $40 to ship. So then I'm into it for $60. And anyway, I'll put the thing up. I'm basically making $40 on this thing when it's said and done. I spent $20 once you figure my cost of goods. Not necessarily great. I probably should have held out, but I just would rather a bird in the hand. I'm almost always going to take the money. If somebody starts with a reasonable offer, I'm pretty well always going to take the money because I'm in this game to move things, and the more time I spend trying to get absolute top dollar, the less things that I sell. So even though I want to make the most money that I can, I don't feel like charging the most for every item. Like I said before, my plan to make more money in 2025 is not mostly more margin. My plan moving forward is to scale my store up so that I'm selling more items so that I'm making more money, because I really just don't believe that trying to get top dollar out of every item, not in this economy, it's just not reasonable, and it's not ever been the way I've run my business. Comic scenes, we paid 40 cents a piece for 100 magazines. So we paid $40 for a big tote full of magazines. And these comic scenes, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. That was October, the first weekend in October of 2023. And we've sold through almost all of them. This finally did sell for $8 for 6, plus shipping, buyers all in at $20. But it took forever to sell. Not a great thing. This one's going to be kind of a pain in the butt. Let me, so this dude, it was in a grab bag full of pieces and parts and stuff. And I was like, oh, wait, that's a rib cage. And there's another half of a rib cage. And I didn't realize he was in there until I started putting the pieces together, like pulling all the pieces and like, oh, this is all kind of the same thing. Wait a minute, there's a whole model of a saber-toothed tiger, and he's got like this hinged jaw and his articulated head. The rest of it's not articulated, but how cool is that? There weren't any comparable things listed on eBay. So I put it up for $16.72. I didn't put it up for $16.72. I put it up for probably $17.99 to put a 5% offer or something. But it sold within a week, and it wasn't even what I bought that bag to get. So that's found money. I didn't even realize that thing was in there. I certainly didn't realize it was complete, even when I was starting to build it. And so a saber-toothed tiger model I'll probably make $8 or $10 on that. 63XL doesn't expire until March of 2026. And this sold like within minutes of listing it for $26. We paid $2 at Goodwill just the other day, very recently. And then I paid $2.99 for this Louisville TPX is normally one that I'm gonna comp. And then this one, not being in spectacular condition, I didn't have hopes for it to sell right away for sure. I said when I picked it up, I think I'll probably list it reasonably high with the expectation that when weather breaks, people start playing softball again around here. But people play softball in Arizona and Texas and Louisiana, except for when they got 9 inches of snow, you know, kind of all year round. So this bat, I always look up Louisville TPX. I always look up most reasonable adult bats that I find that don't seem to be priced over the moon. And anyway, this one sold for $43.65, free shipping, buyers all in, right exactly at $46. So I wonder if they sent me an offer. I don't really remember. And then we paid $1.99 for this guy, and it's got metal wheels. And at the time that I picked it up, the price tag, you can still see some of the price tag right here. The price tag was over this, so I either had to rip the price tag off or just take it without comping it. Ertl, and then it gives the number 559-8701. It's got some plastic pieces, but this is a cool model. John Deere, anything that's going to be a John Deere model that's mostly metal is probably going to be worth picking up, especially at whatever ridiculous $199, $299, whatever the price was that they had on this thing over there at the Goodvilles. And it sold for $29, free shipping. And that's all of it. That's the whole weekend worth of sales. That's $1,000 worth of stuff. And yeah, I'm excited. Moving forward, I think my main plan is going to be trying to get more items listed, have my store go from like 1,200 to 2,000 pieces, and then I'll be moving enough more that even though I think sales are slower, I think sales are probably going to remain slower for a while, but a bigger store selling at a slower sell-through rate is still going to move more than a smaller store selling at the same sell-through rate. So yeah, my sales for 2024 were about 30% less than they were for 2023. So I want to try to make that gain back in 2024 or in 2025, and then keep going higher from there. I think that's going to do it. I've got to ship all 20 of these things. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thanks for all you guys' support in the comments. It's been fantastic. Leave me a comment now. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're going to do to try to be more successful in 2024 than you were in 2025. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks.